got 60 minutes of football. If we're gonna be world champions, we gotta start somewhere. This right here. Gotta come out the cellar. We gotta come out for 60 minutes. Dogfight, ready? Hey.
Our whole season comes down to one play. Do you understand? Hold on. Tell us if you ever sold out in your life. This is the time to do it right now.
Hold on to your dream,
Now is the time. Special right. I know you can do it.
Hold on to your dream.
I know you can do it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get him, baby. Get him. Get him. Cover. Let's go.
Watch the line draw.
Right here. Red 98.
One time.
Hey, Daryl, we got to play defense and win it. You guys got to win it right here. You guys got to win it.
Every season and every game, men united in a single aim. All our heroes in a seasoned story, men with guts, moments of glory, a test of strength and a test of pride, a test of spirit deep inside. Teams united in a single name, of battle burning when victories flame. It's a long, hard road to every goal. It's a long, hard road, I know. If you hit that road with all your soul, now you're on the road to the Super Bowl.
One more victory would have sent the '86 Washington Redskins to Super Bowl XXI. But in the conference title game, the New York Giants were the better team. 1986 was simply the Giants' year, and the Redskins were merely another obstacle to be dealt with and brushed aside. The pain of this loss would be the starting point of the Redskins' championship journey of 1987.
Getting shut out in the NFC Championship game, getting on the bus. Next thing I know, the fans were outside of our bus and they were just shaking our bus, rocking our bus like they were trying to tip the bus over. And I remember making a remark, hey, they beat us on the field, now they're trying to beat us out here in the parking lot. This is a very bad feeling and we don't want that feeling ever again.
Determination was etched on every Redskin face. A resolute gleam was in their eyes. These men were about to blaze a season-long warpath, and the unlucky first victims were the Philadelphia Eagles. On opening day, the Washington defense was tough when it had to be, and the offense weathered an injury to starting quarterback Jay Schrader. With with an impressive off-the-bench performance from backup Doug Williams. Williams had attempted only one pass in all of 1986, but against the Eagles he threw for nearly 300 yards and a pair of touchdowns. It would mark the first of many occasions in which Williams would provide a winning spark during the '87 campaign. But winning was not something the Redskins would accomplish the following week. Jay Schrader's nagging injury put Williams in the starting lineup, and Doug responded with 3 more touchdown passes. But a missed extra point and a solid performance from Falcon quarterback Scott Campbell sent Washington down to its first defeat. The loss was the least of the Redskins' problems. A league-wide players' strike began the following day, and the scramble was on to find replacements capable of wearing the burgundy and gold in the veterans' absence. The abilities of General Manager Bobby Beathard and his scouting staff would be seriously tested.
I am a general manager a little different from others because I do go out and scout all the time. I'm not one to sit in the office and do paperwork all day. Being out in the field looking for players, that's what I do best.
Beathard had sharpened his skills in the early '70s under one of football's greatest coaches.
Getting the opportunity to go with Don Shula was probably the biggest break that I got in pro football. With Don, I was with the team on the sideline each week and had responsibilities there, and he involved everybody, the scouts, the coaches, everything was intertwined. And I think that when I came here, that was probably the biggest thing that I thought was responsible for success.
From Shula to Gibbs, wherever Beathard is gone, success and Super Bowls have followed.
I can rest assured that since I've been here, Bobby's going to do everything he can to get me that player at that position. Bobby has done a tremendous job of picking players down the draft that will end up being very good players, and he's continually looking, and I don't think he's fixed in one direction where it's only the draft. He's willing to do whatever it takes.
Perhaps Beathard's most impressive accomplishment was his swift and efficient acquisition of quality players for the Redskin replacement squad.
It was a lot of fun, to be honest with you. It was a challenge. It was almost like forming a new league, but you had to do it in 10 days. Heck, the games count, so you have to win the games, and then maybe we'll be able to take advantage of something like this.
The Redskins took greater advantage of replacement football than any other team in the NFL. Experts league-wide acknowledged that Washington fielded the best substitute athletes, and they began proving it against the Cardinals. Punt returner Derek Shepard set the tone for an afternoon of spectacular plays. And then number 89, Anthony Allen, took over. Allen set a club record with 255 yards receiving, along with 3 touchdown catches.
7-7 tie. Back is Rubert to pass. Works around at the goal line, fires it up the field, got a man deep, got it complete to Anthony Allen at midfield. It's a horse race. He's gone. Goodbye. Touchdown.
While the first Redskin replacement victory was impressive, it paled in comparison to the dominant display shown the following week in the New Jersey Meadowlands. Washington literally ran over the Giants with the Redskins' highest point total of the year.
Here's Vitale on the carry, up the middle, good hold, he's gone. Beautiful run by Lionel Vitale for a touchdown.
A pair of Lionel Vitale scores and a 64-yard scoring pass from Ed Rubert to Ted Wilson were more than enough for the replacement Redskins to post victory number 2. A week later on Monday night, Washington made it 3 in a row by beating Dallas. The victory was made all the sweeter because the Cowboy roster was laden with veterans who had decided not to strike. Conversely, Washington did not have one veteran cross the picket line, the only NFL team to do so. On this night, the Redskins' substitutes were too much for the veteran-filled Cowboys to cope with. At game's end, the players' strike was officially over. It was time for the regulars to return and keep Washington on a winning course. Redskin head coach Joe Gibbs was now faced with a serious challenge. Could he soothe the hard feelings that had surfaced during the strike, bring his team together, and keep them winning? If hard work would make a difference, the answer would be yes. No other coach can focus on football like Joe Gibbs. When Gibbs is at work, it is the game alone that occupies every waking moment.
Somebody said something, and I made a joke about the fact, hey, tell me what's going on in the outside world, and somebody mentioned, have you heard the word Oliver North? And I said, no, who's he?
Though Gibbs might not be an expert, is the winningest active coach in the NFL, and one national magazine proclaimed him to be the best coach of all time. But Gibbs knows that he is judged mostly by how his teams performed in their last game.
You're never more than 2 weeks away from disaster. I guarantee you if we lose 2 games in a row in Washington, it's a disaster.
Love them Skins! Love them Skins!
In football, it can come to an abrupt end. And I think you live in that realization all the time this next week. And something could happen to you disastrously next week.
There have been few disasters in the Joe Gibbs era. In a city where political competition is also a spectator sport, Gibbs' love for the taste of battle has made him a hometown hero.
I enjoy people. I enjoy the competition. It's as competitive as it can get. And we all start out with that goal in mind, and one team eventually gets it. And I think that's one of the exciting things about what we do. There's going to be a final conclusion to everything that we start out.
In the remaining weeks of the turbulent 1987 season, Joe Gibbs would lead his team to a Super Bowl in what would be the finest coaching effort of his illustrious career. No one was happier to see the return of the regular Redskins than the RFK faithful. Their record string of consecutive full houses had been snapped by the strike, but a capacity crowd was on hand to watch a now healthy Jay Schrader pass the Redskins to an early 7-0 lead over the Jets. By the fourth quarter, however, the visiting New Yorkers had bolted to a 16-7 lead and threatened to pull off an upset. Such hopes were quickly dashed by the Redskin rush. Dave Butts, Darrell Grant, Monty Coleman, Mel Kaufman, and Neil Okowitz snuffed out any further Jet scoring opportunities with 7 sacks. And Jay Schrader rallied the offense for 2 late scores to earn the comeback victory. With less than a minute remaining, one play decided the contest.
Schrader to hold. Snap. Kick is up. Long enough. It's good. Whoa! Ali Haji Sheik. Okay, Sheik, you can stay a while.
If the Redskin victory over the Jets was the closest of the season, Washington's next game at Buffalo was their most decisive win of 1987. The Washington defense was in the Buffalo backfield all afternoon, shutting the Bills out until well into the fourth quarter. By then, the Redskins had the game firmly in hand. Washington totally dominated the game, holding the ball for 41 minutes. And Jay Schrader and running back Kelvin Bryant, number 24, combined twice for touchdowns.
Schrader is back looking right. Quick hitter over the top. Bryant, touchdown, Washington Redskins. Kelvin Bryant takes it in.
Schrader rushed for a third score himself, part of the 300 yards the Redskins amassed on the ground alone. It added up to Washington's best performance of the season and the successful return of Jay Schrader. Schrader's dynamic rise to stardom began in dramatic fashion on a fateful Monday night just 2 years before against the New York Giants. When starting quarterback Joe Theismann suffered a broken leg that ended his career, the Redskins lost the leading man of their offense. But Schrader was the understudy waiting in the wings, and after he threw a game-winning pass against the Giants, he proved he belonged on center stage. Schrader's poise and powerful arm belied the fact that the young rookie hadn't played any football since his sophomore year at UCLA. In fact, Schrader had hoped to end up behind home plate rather than behind the line of scrimmage.
Baseball is my first love, there's no doubt about it. And when I was growing up, the only thing I wanted to be was the next Johnny Bench. He was my idol and everything else. And unfortunately, things didn't work out, and I was able to fall back on football.
Schrader takes the snap, backpedals straight back, fires it out over the middle, got a man, it's Bryant, the 10, into the end zone, touchdown, Washington Redskins.
We took a shot in the third, so we took a chance. I don't think it was a big chance because a lot of teams liked him. And the guy, he's getting better all the time. He's still a young kid.
In 1986, Schrader made the Pro Bowl and produced a club record 4,100 aerial yards. Many of those yards came from passes to fellow Pro Bowler Art Monk, number 81. Like Schrader, Monk is also a record setter. His 106 receptions in 1984 is the highest total in NFL history, a testament to his stamina and durability.
I've always been sort of a mid-range, short, possession type passing receiver. I take a lot of pride in being pretty durable, being able to catch the ball over the middle, playing every down, never coming out.
Ironically, both Monk and Schrader would be plagued by ailments in 1987, but each still had contributions to make, including the first score in a lively mid-season rematch with the Philadelphia Eagles. Monk's catch, along with a scoring run by George Rogers and an alert theft by number 28 Darrell Green, gave the Redskins a 21-17 halftime advantage. Four times the lead changed hands in one of the most exciting contests played during the 1987 NFL season. Washington appeared to wrap things up late in the game when Jay Schrader found a startlingly open Gary Clark to put the Redskins back on top, 27-24. But the Eagles responded with one final effort in the last minute, gaining a measure of revenge for their opening day defeat at RFK. When quarterback Randall Cunningham hit wide receiver Greg Garrity for the winning score, it handed Washington its toughest loss of the year. The Redskins were happy to be out of the Quaker City and back on friendly turf, returning to the partisan cheers of the RFK fans. Those hurrahs were instrumental in a win over Detroit. Lions quarterback Chuck Long could not call plays over the roar of the crowd. And despite protests from the Detroit sideline and any effort to quiet the throng, the D.C. diehards dealt their decibels in deafening doses. Soon after, Long tried to run a play. The cheers only grew louder. Number 45, Barry Wilburn, halted an important Lion drive, one of 4 interceptions the Redskins would make. And then Doug Williams came off the bench to put instant pep in a previously sputtering Washington attack.
The ball at the 42-yard line of the Lions. Back is Williams to pass. Pressured. Dodges the Russian. Gets it away. Threw a bullet into the end zone. Cut. Touchdown. Washington Redskins. What an incredible catch by Gary Clark.
Coach Gibbs, I guess, felt like the team needed a shot in the arm.
And I went in and responded with 2 TDs before half, and I think what that did for us as a team and Coach Gibbs was let him know that we're capable of having 2 starting quarterbacks on this football team.
Williams would be the choice the following week as the Redskins hosted the Rams in a nationally televised Monday night game. And his performance included running for 1 score and passing for 2 others. But there was little else for Washington to be pleased with as the 2-7 Rams pulled off an upset victory. LA's Ron Brown, number 89, was the big hero with a touchdown catch and another score resulting from a 95-yard kickoff return. Even Darrell Green, number 28, the NFL's fastest man, wasn't quite fast enough on this night as Washington lost for the 2nd time in 3 weeks and appeared to be in real trouble. Ahead lay Bill Parcells' trio of 1986 losses to these same Giants. But long memories alone could not keep New York from staking a 19-3 third-period lead. However, the Redskin defense stood its ground and halted any further scoring from that point. Washington sacked Phil Simms 5 times and brought the New York Brown game to a virtual standstill. Meanwhile, in an ironic role reversal, it was Jay Schrader off the bench replacing an injured Doug Williams. And Schrader responded with over 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, including the game winner in the final minutes.
28-yard line of the Giants. Schrader back, looking left. Mann fell wide open at the 5. Touchdown, Washington Redskins, Ricky Sanders.
If we'd lost that, I'm not quite sure what our frame of mind would have been. But the fact that we had so much wrapped up in that, I think we were real nervous before that game because our players wanted so badly because the Giants had beaten us, 3 times a year before. And so we kind of had a jaw set that we wanted to play great. But that comeback sure gave us back, I think, our pride again. And I think that was one of the turning points in the season.
The team was back on course, and now the St. Louis Cardinals were the next obstacle standing in Washington's Warpath. The Cards managed a 17-10 third-quarter lead, but the Redskins blew that away in routine fashion. A key contribution came from their longest scoring play since the strike.
Back goes Schrader to pass, sets, looks to the right, throws it deep, got Clark wide open at the 10, goodbye, touchdown, Washington Redskins.
The 84-yard hookup was one of 2 touchdown passes thrown by Schrader, who also added a 3rd score off the quarterback draw. The Redskin running attack was equally as effective with number 38 George Rogers pounding out 134 yards and a touchdown. These efforts were more than enough for the Redskins to become the first team in the league to clinch a division crown, making it Washington's first title of any kind since 1984. It's no coincidence that winning records and Dexter Manley's arrival occurred in Washington at the same time. For 7 seasons, Dexter has been a colorful presence in the Redskins' championship defenses. Through good times and bad, Manley has piled up sacks and revealed a special kind of enthusiasm for playing the game.
I play with a lot of emotion. I don't care where we play. People are people. We're in Green Bay. If they rooting for their team, I like that because then that gives me a chance to go out and show these people what I can do. So it doesn't matter to me where you play at. When you're a football player, you're going to play regardless if it's in Timbuktu.
All the world's a stage for Manley, whose actions speak louder than words. Sometimes. There have been a few moments when Dexter's declarations have raised a few eyebrows.
He really makes it kind of interesting. It's not mundane and blasé because you know Dexter's going to come out with something sooner or later.
I've learned something tonight is that I got to keep my mouth quiet.
I would like to see him become more reserved and let his playing do his talking for him because Dexter's a fine football player.
Unlike some who swagger but then stumble, Dexter Manley is one man who has been able to back up his big talk with big play in big situations.
Here we go. Second down, 10 yards to go at the 40-yard line. Shotgun again. Kramer loses the snap. Manley's back there, grabs it in the air, and he's gone. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
Manley has drawn much of the attention in recent years, but in 1987 he shared the spotlight with the Redskins' other end. Pass rusher extraordinaire Charles Mann, number 71. Mann finally shed his anonymous aura, led the team in sacks, and earned his very first trip to the Pro Bowl.
I knew that it was time that Charles Mann, his potential and everything that makes him what he is has to start coming out. And I believe that there was a confidence in knowing that, hey, I can go out there and I can beat this guy in front of me. I know I can. I've done it before. I've proved to get everything you want.
In 1987, the quiet man escaped Dexter Manley's shadow and became a star. Another Redskins defender, cornerback Barry Wilburn, also made a name for himself after playing behind All-Pro Darrell Green. For several years, Green was Washington's big play deep back. Postseason honors always seemed to come his way, while Barry Wilburn quietly waited his turn. Finally, in 1987, Wilburn, number 45, became a starter, a perfect fit into the Redskins' aggressive defensive scheme.
Our coaches love to put pressure on the opposing team. If we have to send 7 or 8 men after the quarterback, we'll do that. But that leaves the cornerbacks usually in one-on-one situations and man-to-man with great receivers. So that's always been the philosophy. And you know, we go in the corners, go in knowing that the pressure is on us.
Wilburn found he loved the pressure, even thrived on it. By year's end, this former nickelback was the leading pass interceptor in the NFL. In a rematch against the Cowboys, Wilburn and friends were eager to give a warm welcome to any receiver who might be visiting the Redskins secondary. While Todd Bowles, Alvin Walton and company made the Texans see stars, Jay Schrader was lighting up the skies as the Redskins breezed to a 3-touchdown lead. George Rogers rushed for 2 scores as Washington held on to beat Dallas. But the following week, victory would be elusive in Miami. There was simply too much Marino for the Redskins to cope with. The Dolphin quarterback torched Washington for nearly 400 yards and 3 touchdown passes in what would prove to be the Redskins' final defeat of 1987. Despite the loss, the ground game was in peak form, running for over 200 yards while accounting for all the Redskins scoring. In 1987, Washington was 3rd in conference rushing, even though no back gained even 700 yards. The unsung heroes came from one of the NFL's most talented offensive lines: Bostic, May, Thielman, McKenzie, Jacoby, and Grimm. Towers of power who cleared the way for ball carriers Rodgers, Bryant, Griffin, Branch, and rookie Timmy Smith, number 36. Their favorite play was the counter gap, a run that goes to one side while blocking patterns appear headed for the other. It sends defensive pursuit away from the ball and leaves a vacated area ripe with opportunity.
When you get Russ Grimm and Joe Jacoby rolling with about 4 or 5 steps, then they can cause a lot of real good collisions. We call Jacoby Interstate 66 because when he starts rolling, we're just following.
It is football's most devastating running play, a call that would serve Washington well in weeks to come. The counter gap also symbolized the team's character, basic, dependable, and relentless.
Personality, I think, is a team that is not very respected throughout the NFL, but I think we got 45 guys that come any Sunday. When that final gun, before that final gun clicks off, we're going to find a way to win the game.
The Redskins saved their best comeback for the final week of the regular season. At the Metrodome, they faced a Viking team that needed a win to make the playoffs. Washington responded with an afternoon of amazing plays and heroic efforts.
He tried to throw the ball in, and I was there and caught it. And I just wanted our offense to have the ball at least at the 20-yard line. And after I ran that far, I said, I've gone this far. I think I'll try to go all the way.
He can go all the way. He gets a block. He's gone. It's Barry Wilburn with a 100-yard interception return for a Washington.
The longest run back in club history, coupled with a Doug Williams to Ricky Sanders touchdown pass, pushed the Redskins ahead 14-7 in the third quarter. But a run of 17 straight points put Minnesota back on top deep into the final period. Flea tucked away. But enough time remained for one more Redskin miracle. Doug Williams had come off the bench earlier in the day when Washington needed a lift, and there was enough Williams magic left to send the game into overtime.
Man-to-man defense. Back is Williams, rolling out slightly to his right, throws it over the middle. He's got Sanders at the 30, at the 20. He cuts back to the 15, far side 10, 5, end zone, touchdown, Washington Redskins, 51 yards. Doug Williams has tied this game.
In sudden death, the Redskins wrapped up the victory with a winning field goal by Ali Haji Sheikh. Once more, Washington had somehow come from behind and found a way to win. It was a scenario that would surface again in postseason. Circumstances that would bring out the best in the Redskins and their now undisputed team leader. Unwanted and all but forgotten a year before, quarterback Doug Williams now stood tall in the glare of the public eye. He was not even the Redskins' first-string passer on opening day. But now the hard-throwing native of Zachary, Louisiana, was on the verge of writing a fabulous ending to a storybook season. Throughout a stormy career, Doug Williams had been known as both savior and sinner, a gifted but sometimes erratic talent. His warm smile and soft eyes hid the fact that nothing ever came easy for Williams, dating back to his days in Tampa, when he yearned for acceptance as a black quarterback.
A lot of people just not ready to accept the fact that a black quarterback is playing in the National Football League. And, it's nothing that you could do anything about, I could do anything about. It's just that a lot of people just not ready to accept it.
Williams led the Buccaneers to the playoffs in 3 of his 5 seasons, but never got the respect he deserved. He played despite injuries and had the knack for making something out of nothing. Still, he felt maligned, but professional prejudice wasn't the worst of his problems. Personal tragedy was.
Well, 83 certainly wasn't a banner year for myself. First of all, I had a daughter who was born on the 14th of January. 3 months later, my wife passed. And from there, it was a rocky road because I went through contract negotiation with Tampa Bay and everything broke down. And that particular point of my life, football really didn't matter to me whether or not I played or not.
He's been through a lot of highs, a lot of lows. And with that, I think brings maturity and the fact that those kind of guys have seen a lot of things and been through some rough things and can lead you through other things.
Gibbs had coached Williams for a season in Tampa, so he appreciated his talent and tenacity and knew this backup quarterback could perform if called upon.
I've always been ready to play. I never considered myself as a backup. From an emotional standpoint, I was elated to get the opportunity to play.
Now at age 32, Doug Williams' time had come at last. Still referred to as a black quarterback, Williams was about to earn a new label, World Champion.
from Soldier Field in Chicago, good afternoon. I'm Frank Herzog, along with Sonny Jurgensen and Sam Huff. Do you believe in deja vu? The Redskins were here in Chicago 1 year ago to play their first playoff game against these same Bears, and they pulled off the upset and advanced to the NFC Championship game. The stakes are higher today, though. If they can win here today against the Bears, the NFC Championship game this year would be at home in RFK.
But the Bears were determined to end Washington's season right on the frozen turf of Soldier Field, bolting to a 14-0 second period lead. Once again, the Redskins would have to dig themselves out of a hole, and they would do it by riding the rocket arm of their comeback quarterback. Redskins caught everything they could reach, storming back with 2 touchdowns before halftime.
Back is Doug Williams, sets up, blitz, throws it in a hurry. Didier at the 4, touchdown, Washington Redskins. Hit Clint Didier right over the middle of a post and beat that blitz.
Chicago quarterback Jim McMahon spent most of the second half on his back. He never could contend with the storming Redskin rush, which logged 5 sacks, while permitting only 3 more points the rest of the game. Befitting the total team effort of the day, the winning score came on a spectacular strike by the Redskins' special team.
Green driven back to midfield on the far side. He's got the ball up to the 45, far side 40. A seam to the 35, ball to man to the 30. Breaks it to the near side 25. Watch out to the 20. Near side 10. He's gone. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Darrell Green returns the punt 50 yards, and the Washington Redskins have the lead.
For team owner Jack Kent Cook and all his staff, this victory was a deeply satisfying shared effort.
I tell you, our defense played great, man. Give our defense a lot of credit. Give Doug Williams, the coaching staff. Hey, great organization, man. I'm just glad I'm a part of it, man. We got 1 more game to go.
Well, we had a meeting last night, and the attitude was that we was going to never say die. No matter what happens, good or bad, we're going to have an attitude of go on, we're going to make good things happen to ourselves. And that's what happened. The defense came up with big plays. The offense came up with enough big plays that, to help us win the game. And basically, that's going to be our attitude going into the next week. No matter how bad things get, we just got to come out and keep on trying until the end, It's not over till the fat lady sings.
San Diego, here we come. Redskins got them on the run. Led by Williams, Golden Arm. San Diego, here we come.
Bring on the dogs and their angry crowds to the best fans in the league. And when they went back to Cleveland, we'll be cheering them on when they leave. Yeah!
In perhaps the most exciting championship weekend in league history, the AFC and NFC showcase title games that would determine the final survivors on the road to Super Bowl XXII.
In every season's quest for fame, men united with a single aim. Meet the challenge of every goal, then set their hearts on the Super Bowl. A test of strength and a test of pride, a test of spirit deep inside. A team united in a single name, a battle burning with victory
is Doug Williams. Sets up. Plenty of time. Going deep over the middle. Got Kelvin Bryant. The 10. The 5. Touchdown. Washington Redskins.
Receiver set as Kosar backpedals. Firing, caught by Slaughter over the middle. It's hot loose and intercepted by the Broncos.
And Elway drills the pass. Fingertip catch, touchdown, making the tail back in the end zone. First and goal at the 2. They give it to Sewell on the end around, coming left, and Steve Sewell will score. You guys are coming apart. Get there, get there,
Back to throw a pump action fake. Throw and in the corner of the end zone and touchdown! What started off as Redskins domination has now changed.
We on our way, baby. We on our way. Hand off to Biner. Kosar to throw. Now steps up in the pocket. Loops it for Biner, who got it at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Browns. Here's Elway retreating to the 9-yard line. In trouble. Dancing around. Breaks free. Firing. It is caught by Jackson at the 25. Breaks a tackle. Gets a first down at the 35, 40, 45.
Body proud, stand tall to the waves and the roar of the crowd. Body steel and body stone. Never victory to call your own. Another chance to win it all. Another another fall. Though for some the glory has gone, and yet for others the dream lives on.
One down to the Super Bowl. From the 6-yard line, it's 4th down and 4. Wilson takes the snap, looking left, throws it into the end zone, batted away, incomplete. Redskins are going to the Super Bowl. Woo-hoo! Well, it's a championship finish. 2nd down, 5 at the 8. Kosar to Biner. Biner trying to slip left at the 5. He's at the goal line. Biner loses the ball. Denver recovers the fumble.
Oh, it's a long, hard road to every goal. It's a long, hard road, and no. And if you hit that road with all your soul, now you're on the road to the Super Bowl.
The Washington Redskins are the National Football Conference champions. The Broncos are back in the Super Bowl for the 2nd year in a row. They are going to San Diego. From Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. The road to Super Bowl XXII stops right here. This afternoon, we're going to play the biggest football game in the history of Western civilization. Or for this year, anyway. The Washington Redskins against the Denver Broncos. Come on! Let's go! Let's go! Touchdown! Double in on Key! Let's go!
First time the great John Elway touched the ball, he set a record by triggering the quickest touchdown in Super Bowl history. With less than 2 minutes gone, it was 7-0. In Denver's second series, Elway set another record, as no other quarterback had ever caught a pass in a Super Bowl. After the first quarter, Elway and the other 44 led 10-0. Washington prepared for the second.
Yeah, take a good step work upfield. So you just get a bite on him, try to get through, okay? What you don't want to do is get caught to try to bring him with you. You'll be playing with a hand, all right?
Don't stop making. Everybody keep your hand up. Stand.
The quarter. The second quarter, to be specific. 15 minutes of madness for Denver, of might for Washington, a blur to the millions who watched.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line. I formation, play action fake. Williams going up top. Got Sanders on the fly. Midfield. He's gone unless they can catch it. The 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
We're coming back. We're going to do it.
Third down, 2 yards to go. It's Monk who's in motion. Williams to pass, lobs it up. He's got Clark at the goal line. He's got it. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. First and 10 at the 42. He'll hand off to Smith. The deep back. Good hole. Midfield. Horse race to the 40. Far side 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Timmy Smith. Williams looks over that Bronco defense. Here he comes. Nope. Faked out everybody. He's got Sanders in the clear at the 10. Touchdown. A new Super Bowl record. Williams is back. Lobs it into the end zone. He's got Didier. Touchdown. Holy cow. It's 34 points in this quarter.
Before the game, Doug Williams was asked how it felt to be the Super Bowl's first black quarterback. Afterwards, how it felt to be its most valuable player by firing 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter alone. Down passes in that remarkable quarter, and his 193 receiving yards set yet another record. The Redskins scored 5 straight unanswered touchdowns in the most explosive quarter in Super Bowl history. At the heart of that attack was a previously anonymous running back named Timmy Smith, who ripped through gaping holes for 131 yards by halftime. By dominating one 15-minute period, the Washington Redskins became Super Bowl champions well before Chubby Checker's halftime medley. Denver's gimmicks, gadgets, the Duke, and the Three Amigos were simply no match for Washington's size and strength. The Skins had backed their lighter opponent against the ropes, and with mighty combinations spent the second half pounding John Elway.
Red 98 hot.
The only bit of drama remaining was Timmy Smith's pursuit of Marcus Allen's Super Bowl rushing mark. Smith's 204 yards set a new standard, and his second score mercifully ended Super Bowl XXII.
Snap, here comes Timmy Smith up the middle. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
For the second time in a decade, Washington claimed the Vince Lombardi Trophy. The Redskins had blazed their warpath, and it had taken them down Glory Road to the World Championship.
But I have a token of appreciation also. It's a Super Bowl XXII football with both teams engraved on it, Washington Redskins and Denver Broncos. I'm going to give it to the president up under one circumstance, that he run the right play. And the play is trips right, fake zoom, Larry crisscross. And he got to throw it.
Where's Ricky Sanders?